Hey guys, Matt here. Broken Super Coach. Teams had dropped last night, so you know how it is. We'll go through the teams. We'll see what we're gonna do, and we'll go through what trades we're gonna do, if any. But there's definitely gonna be some trades because we're gonna try to catch up. So let's have a look, breeze through these because there's not a lot to really talk about. Bont's back. I think the only hope of Bont being in our teams at the end of the year is that we get him. He gets a forward status, and we somehow swing him in forward. You don't want him in the mids. Interesting that Steph Martin's managed. English isn't back, but he was available, but he's sick. So English will be back next week. No Steph Martin, so I guess they're going to rock with Sweet. Either way, English back this week. We love to see it. Ginnivan's out sick, and Caleb Porter's back in. So I think if you had Ginnivan as a rookie, that's your chance to get rid of him. I don't know what it is. Or, you want to hold him longer, that's cool too. Don't think many people had him. So Connor McDonald's out. He was supposed to have last week off, didn't. So probably time to get rid of Connor McDonald. He's not scoring points. He's just not that good. Like, he's reliable 40, and his score probably, and his price rather, probably indicates that he is where he's at 40 average. So whatever. Fail rookie. Not a lot to go through here. Anyone who picked up, we got Sicily here. We love that. And Dylan Moore. Anyone who picked him up will probably want him to bounce back this week. I think he'll be okay. We have Gibcus with health and safety protocols. He's in their best 22. Plus, they're playing this new kid. So I'm not too fussed about Gibcus being out for the 1 week, as long as you've got cover. And that's the tricky part. If you have Gibcus still, and you have Hewitt, and then you have one more out in defense, you probably are panicking a little bit. Horn Francis is out, so that's probably the sign. If you've held him this long, which I have, this is the time to get rid of him now. He's out. He wasn't really making any more money for us. He was just handy on-field points, reliable on-field points. That's him done. Looks like a good player, champion player. Don't think there's much else to really talk about there. A lot of people talk about Goldstein at the moment without Cherry. Cherry's due back very soon, I think, so probably missed the boat on that one. If you held Cherry for this long, then good on you. Flynn Perez named on the wing, so if you still got him, that's a good pick as well. Not much to talk about with Port. They're not naming their young rookies. They're trying to get wins. Butters named at half forward. We'll talk about what to do with Butters. And because Rosie is obviously taking a lot of his time up. I don't think either of these help Butters. I think playing against North will inflate Butters' score. Although it's at Tasmania. I'm going to get rid of Butters this week, just because I think there's an easy side trade that's going to make money. We'll talk about him soon. Unfortunately, I have to boost to do it, but I just don't trust Butters. Not a big fan. Billings in, that's interesting. Wanganeen Miller, okay. Windhager, bad luck if you picked him up as a rookie a couple of weeks back. And Cooper Stevens. Geelong are allergic to playing young players for any more than 1 or 2 games. So naturally, Cooper Stevens is going to get dropped because they've already got one. They'll go into anaphylactic shock if they run too many. Knevitt. So they're not going to play 2 rookies at once. That's just not Geelong's style. You got to be 35 or older to get into this team. Who else is relevant in these? Not really. Tom Stewart. Oh, what do we got here? A couple of ins. Nothing really relevant with these guys either. Sorry, we went through them. Jack Steele on the ball. Gresham there. Sinclair, you want to see some more points from him, I think. And Hobbs still in. He plays Essendon, so he's not going to be in that team, is he? This is where Hobbs will be. Hobbs is still in. You'll have to see it. Ridley back in. Obviously, I traded him last week. If you held, great. I wasn't taking the 0. I took the 50 extra points from Coleman. Whatever. I wanted to get rid of Ridley anyway. But he's back against Sydney. We'll see how he goes. Maybe he scores well towards the back half of the year. I was tired of having him. It was a negative pod. Hickey's back in, so that's their ruck sorted. Laddams still obviously gets a chance to play, but I think we won't see Laddams for much longer. Yeah, if you went on Mills, good luck to you. I just, like I said before, he dropped a 60 or whatever it was last week after scoring absolutely massive ones the weeks before. That's what Mills is going to do to you. Good luck. If you've got Mills in your team and you paid 680k for him, then more credit to you. You deserve everything coming your way, because I warn you about Mills. He's too versatile a player. He's a very good player, very good footy player. Really good. Every team would love to have Callum Mills. There's a reason why they wanted to take him at the number 1 pick, because he's an academy player. He just went straight to Sydney. There's a reason that everyone wanted him, because he's so versatile a player. He can play on ball and get 200 Supercoach points. He can also just run around, play off the ball, and get 40 Supercoach points. And he's very good on the field at doing both. So, too versatile. They use him in too many ways. I just think he's too dangerous to have Supercoach relevance. Steven's named here. If you still got him, get rid of him, because you can cash him out, unlike other players. Parker at half forward, we love to see it. How do these guys coming in affect Parker? Probably not a lot. Maybe better with a real ruckman for a change. And not a lot here. You've still got Hobbs playing, so you'll love to see that. Now, last Saturday team. So Soligo's back in, so I was really worried. I'm actually worried that this guy is going to lose money, but he's been a hole on my bench the whole time, so whatever. This guy will play a couple of games, you'd think, stretching over Riley O'Brien. I don't think there's a lot of relevance here. Nobody has any of these guys, and nobody is looking at bringing any of these in. These are not relevant players. And not a lot there to worry about. So it's just a case of, this is in Adelaide, so it may not be as high scoring Supercoach-wise. Neil might score a lot of points. Berry may give him some attention, though. We may even run sort of Haitley with him, we've done in the past. And maybe Saligo's been brought in to run with Neil. He's a good runner as well, and a good contested ball winner. Funnily enough, they also don't have a Oscar McInerney's not that great a ruck, and Kieran Strachan's a very good tap ruck, so he may get ripped up here. I'm going to hold Coleman, even though he looks like the most obvious rookie to drop. If you have Coleman, I'll talk about him. I reckon he'll get a lot of intercepts. The Crows just give away intercepts across the forward 50, and I reckon Coleman's primed to do that. So, same with guys like someone like Zorko might score very well this game. A lot of points for back halves against the Crows, so we've got some interesting picks here. James Rowe, we like it. I don't think there's a lot to talk about, though. Interesting, Taylor Walker named at full forward, who's been scoring very well. Bit like Tom Hawkins in years gone by. I actually don't think Taylor Walker's a bad pick. I'd be concerned about fitness. He never gets through a full year, and he's missed the first 3 games, that's true. But he always gets some type of niggle and then has to miss. I still like the Ben Keys and Rory Laird pick as your M8. I don't think I'll do it till after the bye, because they've got such a dangerous bye, but I'd be going for either of those. And what have we got here? O'Driscoll out, so that's your sign to get rid of O'Driscoll. I did that a couple of weeks ago, but if he's listed out already, then so be it. The one I'd be worried about is, Malcolm's named on field, so we're pretty happy that he gets another game after 18 points. You don't want to be fielding Malcolm, though. Malcolm Rosas. You do not want to be doing that. But if you can, so be it. Tuke Miller, he's back. We'll love to see it. You know, Sean Darcy's ripping up. If you've got him, well done. Will Brodie's still on the ball. We'll be holding him all year. I don't think there's a lot more to go through here. Yeah, Brayshaw in the middle. It looks like they're still having health and safety protocol with players, though, so just keep an eye on these guys. But it doesn't seem like they're having a West Coast drama. This is one probably everyone wants to look at. So Hamilton named on field, so it could be a good rookie. The thing that would concern me about this, and we saw this, you see this with a lot of coaches, is Cooper Hamilton named for his 3rd game, but obviously the big news this week is that Leon Cameron's out after this game. So this is their last game, and then the next game, the new coach takes over. He will have his own preference of guys that he likes, and it's very dangerous to pick someone like Cooper Hamilton, because, hey, he might, perhaps whoever it is that takes over, McVeigh, perhaps he really likes Cooper Hamilton, and he throws him on the ball all the time, and he starts scoring heaps. But maybe he doesn't like Cooper Hamilton at all, and he never plays again. Like, there are some real interesting thoughts because McVeigh, Leon Cameron can play rookies, he can do whatever. It was his job. McVeigh is going to want to show that he's a good caretaker coach. He's going to want to get wins under the belt. He's going to want to play some better players in their actual position rather than messing things around. So I think we might find Cornelio gets a lot more on ball time because McVeigh's going to want to get wins. So Hamilton may, I've spoken a lot about it, but Hamilton may or may not survive. We'll see. Outside of that, not much else. Bruce is still their R1. This guy's probably, weirdly enough, outside of Gawn on Wits maybe. I actually think outside of Gawn only, Bruce might be the best ruckman in the AFL as far as traditional ruckmen go, not super coach wise, but as far as just being a ruckman. He's so big and so powerful. Like he really imposes himself, and I think Tom DeConning is going to get absolutely annihilated this week by Braden Bruce. He's going to be too young, too small, and Bruce is going to beat him up. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting game to watch. I'm really keen to see it play out. The one I want to talk about here, Paddy Cripps, he's ripping up, but do be careful. Lockie Ash is a very good tagger, and I can't see how Leon Cameron would play his last game without a hard lockdown tag. Probably a double man tag, a De Boer and Lockie Ash tag onto Paddy Cripps. Just classic Leon Cameron footy, I reckon, for his last game. Don't be surprised if that happens. Have a good vice captain if you're going to slap the C on Cripps, because I was prepared to put the C on Cripps for the rest of the year, but Leon Cameron's send-off game, a double tag would be absolute chef's kiss, trademark Leon Cameron, that type of stuff. So, just have that in the back of your mind. The one I want to talk about is George Hewitt named on the extended bench, is a worry because he wasn't due back this week. He's due back next week. So have cover for George Hewitt. I imagine they're going to do a test. They may finalise the team and still have him in. That doesn't mean that he can't be a late out. So he'll probably go to Canberra or Giant Stadium, Sydney, with the team. But I imagine he's having a test on the day, and he could be a late out. So make sure, don't be looping your emergency in the defense. Don't get caught out like that. Have cover for George Hewitt. Because, if you get a late out Sunday, and it's Hewitt, and you've already looped around a player to get in, and you can't slap the E on someone else because your other emergency's already played, you'll end up what happened to me last week, which is the 0-1 field. Last game, these guys will get absolutely annihilated. If you have Gawn, put the C on Gawn immediately, and don't even look. Like, have the courage to back Gawn, surely, because Bailey J. Williams is off of a month of no footy, and he's not a very good ruckman. It's good to see him back because I do have him on my bench, but it'll be great to see Gawn. The risk here is that, same as Brisbane the week before, they don't get out of second or third gear. That's what happened with Brisbane last week against West Coast. They just didn't need to. Why beat the team by 120 points when you can just beat them by 50, 10 goals and just be okay with it? So just keep that in mind if you're going to put the C on someone here. There's every chance you're not going to see a 200 game. Or you might, but you're not going to see a 200 game from Oliver because the footy's just not going to be hard enough. Petraka the same. Gawn, he'll rip up against Bailey Williams, but they might just say, hey, Jackson, take a lot of ruck, bro. And Max Gawn might just play it down back for half the game. It's a rest on field game. So Greg Clark in. Hopefully he plays. I don't think going early on him's the go, though. Just because if we go up to... There's a couple of good ones, Jack Carroll's still alive here. Named on field. We've also got... where is he? Richmond. We've also got Rioli named last on the bench, but has been playing good footy. So pretty good about that. The worry about this is that there's some big ins. Who do we have? Gibcus to come back in, so he probably comes in for Nayuan. Gibcus for Nayuna. Edwards is probably still to come back too. So that could... I'm just trying to look. Yeah, Rioli might be in strife there. That's a very clear 1-for-1. Gibcus for Nayuan. I don't know how to say this guy's name, but what a ripper name it is. So that leaves Maurice Rioli in a pretty scary situation, and you want a guy that's playing. So, Jack Carroll, they've got some guys to come back to. So it's a bit of concern. I think I'll go Rioli, and I'll just go Greg Clark the week after. But here's the trades for those who want to see it. Oh, I've done them already. We'll just undo them quickly. I've not made any changes. Well, what's all this about then? Sounds good. So what we're going to do is... I have. Hang on, guys. Give me a... I'll just reload this. This happens to everyone all year, basically. All right, so I just hit a refresh there. So we have a look. So we need to get... First of all, we need to get McCartan on field for Gibcus, who's not playing. And we probably want DeConning over Coleman. Ignore that he's the captain at the moment. And we'll have Coleman as backup here. Then we're going to run... Well, Horn Francis has to go. We'll just set our emergencies. I'll upset the emergencies first. Probably go like this type of emergency and this type of emergency. We've got an emergency in every line. Love to see it. Also got a loop in... Geez, not quite sure who we can loop. Probably Gibcus. Saturday doesn't give us much. Oh, it does, because I might want to loop. It doesn't give us much to loop, does it? But that's all right. We'll talk about that in a tick. So Horn Francis has to go. He's the obvious one for me. And the other one will be... Geez, this is the tricky part for me. I'm just not quite sure who else needs to go. For me, it's going to be Butters. I'm just not interested in having Butters in my team at the moment. At 420, I think he's a fake premium. If I'm being totally honest with you, I think he's fake. And now I can just do that and just go as simple as this. I want Dawson. I need Dawson in my team. I think he's playing on the wing now. I expect these type of scores from him for the rest of the year. I think he's going to be a very good pickup. Ignore that the caps lock is on. And then I'm just going to go Rioli. Safe Rioli. This one. Could go early on Clark if I wanted to. Don't think I have to. I think I'm just going to go Rioli. I like the way that's set up. Now, the other choice I could make is that I could also send... I have to do a lot of shuffling, and I actually took a lot of time to do it. So Connor McDonald goes. You send Nick Martin up. You send DeConning down. You send Dawson up. You send, say, anyone. Probably Rioli up, because DeConning's the better on-field option. And then you grab Darcy Cameron. And yeah, I downplayed it in the comments earlier in the video just Tuesday. So if you've stuck around this long, that's interesting. I downplayed the pick. Shout out to the fellow who put me onto the tip. I really like this pick. I really like it. Yes, he's forward only. Probably gets ruck status at round 12, which is handy because then you can just trade him down to an absolute nobody and put him in the ruck. It also helps for me because I've got Tim English and I've got Nick Martin. So, I can play with an extra forward. Do keep in mind that if you are picking Darcy Cameron, it's an extra trade you have to use because Grundy comes back and you've got to assume that Grundy plays. So if Grundy plays, then you kind of have to assume that Cameron starts going back to these type of numbers, which is trash. But while he's their number one ruck, and he is their number one ruck, they don't like Begg at all. Have they even picked Begg this week? Where's Collingwood? So, Darcy Cameron gets named at D1. Begg is just there. Against Jordan Sweet, too. This is not a real ruckman. So, this week especially, I love the pick. I like it going forward. It's free money. And what you got on, and my gamble is that we get 100k out of Butters straight away. I also don't think Butters is a premium. I don't think Butters is a scorer. If you're a high ranked player, if this was me last year, there's no chance I do this. And Butters, I hold Butters. I don't use this boost. This is my last boost, by the way, but I don't think boosts are going to come into play towards the end of the year because you won't have enough trades, and you won't need more than 3 over every buy. If you need 4 over a buy, you're in strife. So, 4 is such a lot of trades to do over a buy. So, I feel like using all your boosts before the buys is the way to go, and this is my last boost. I get 100k out of it straight up, or 80k out of it straight up, and then I get, well, it's actually 50. I'm probably lying there, but so I get 50k in the pocket, and then Darcy Cameron will go to 400, will go to 450, 500, as long as he stays fit, easily. Scoring at this type of rate. All we want from him is 90s and to 100s. But he's putting out some real good numbers. That's against Wits. That's against Nankervis. This is good ruckman that he's playing against, and he's still managing good points. He's playing very good footy, in fact. So yeah, I've sold the hell out of this guy now. What does that mean for me going forward? Well, English sits here. We do need to find a way to get Nick Martin back into our forward line at some point. We've made this mistake before. Probably as simple as, I'll probably do some more shuffling to fix it up. What it also does is it lets our defense, we bring in Jordan Dawson. I've spoke nothing about Dawson because all I did was blabber on about Cameron. Dawson looks absolutely mint. Even when he's playing halfback, he scores good. This is his lowest score, 80, and he hasn't. This was a game I think Frampton scored like 150 or something, so it was just an unusual game. Every other game, he has looked great, and even in losing games, this guy is. I have to have him, and I need defenders, so it's what I want to address. So if Hewitt plays, that's another good defender. Now the other one I could do also is, but I don't really want to do it, is I could trade Dacos and get Gawn in this week. And I do like the idea of doing that, but it just leaves me too exposed at both levels. Too exposed to defense. Without Dacos, then Coleman is on field, and then I have no bench basically, or I guess I get DeConning up there. Then the forward line's a little exposed because I probably have to field Rosas or Bailey Williams, which is a bit of a concern. And Gawn. Let's have a look how it looks actually if I do Gawn instead. So that's probably my real trades. This is my other choice, which is Horn Francis, the obvious one. It's still Butters, by the way, and it's Dacos. And then it's a case of you're bringing in, I'm still bringing in Dawson. He just goes up there. You send Bailey Williams down, and this is where you start to see how exposed this really is. Because then you go for Gawn, Max Gawn. Then I just have 3 rucks. And then it's a case of Rioli. So you can see how exposed this is. With no English back in the team, it sends Sam Hayes, who is a proven point scorer, to the bench. And then I have to field Bailey Williams, and I have to field Rioli. I lose good points in Dacos, even though I probably don't lose much by having these guys. So, yeah, I just don't want to field Rosas or Bailey Williams, and you can't even loop him with English, so because he plays Friday. So, I don't like it at all. It also doesn't get me Connor McDonald away. I don't feel comfortable with that trade, especially while Sam Hayes is scoring points. And I think Gawn's got another couple of weeks. 136, I think no matter what, you're paying a lot for Gawn. And I just don't think you need him while Hayes and Bruce are scoring like this. You want him eventually, but I just don't think you do at the moment. So we'll just cancel that one. We'll do the real trade. And then lastly, we'll go have a look at... I might do the trade after. We'll look at captains in a tick. So we'll just throw this one and then this one. We send DeConning across. I suppose I can keep it like that, kind of. No, because I need 1 forward. So we'll send... So you can play with a bit, because I could put Hewitt down. But if Hewitt plays, then I don't want to do Hewitt. You put Martin up. And then you go Dawson. Oh, turns out I can't spell his name. Dawson there. No, bro. As a defender. Rioli. Yeah, they are all going into the positions I don't want them to be in. That's good. And then Cameron. And it looks like that. So that's not too bad. If Hewitt plays, I could probably get away with changing how that trade went. Oh, no, you just keep it like that. Nick Martin. Yeah, I like all of those. I'm just wondering, is there... No, there's no easy way. Yeah, it is what it is. So I'll just hit that. You get 169 in the bank. That hopefully gets us closer to Gawn. I love the Dawson pick. I really like this Cameron pick. And yes, that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 forwards again. I do honestly think that Tim English is going to be my R2. I don't think I'm going to use it on another ruck. And I'm trading this guy out eventually. Maybe I trade him to the side for Wits towards the end of the year, or to whoever the good ruckman is. Maybe even Sean Darcy towards the end of the year. English just sits there. Yeah, so that's the team. And lastly, who are we looping? Tricky because our only loop is sort of Gibcus and English. So we don't actually have anyone to loop. So you've got to trust in your captains. I suppose I could loop. I'll probably just loop McRae against Collingwood, maybe. That's probably the only choice I get. Just because I got Gibcus there. And then you probably slap the C on. I know I just made a big fuss about it, but I'm pretty confident in Cripps as captain. But he will get tagged, so I think it'll be a take your VC score. The issue is, as I said, don't loop Gibcus. Brisbane play on Saturday, so I've got time. I don't think I can loop this week, if I'm being totally honest with you, unless I'm blind. Saligo got picked, so I think you just have to... I am still going to trust that Cripps beats this tag. We did see him in weeks gone by that Ash can be beaten as far as points go. They tag Keys. Keys got absolutely jacked, but Laird scored 120. So I just got to hope that Cripps knows how to do it, or I just hope that McRae does it. The issue is that you can't afford to have Hewitt laid out if you're doing a loop here. So that's all right. That's how it looks. Other captain options, say you don't want to talk about Cripps. Neil against the Crows is a really nice captain as well. And anyone against West Coast. Petrarca, Gawn, Oliver. But Oliver or Gawn probably against West Coast. If you need an even earlier captain, Touk Miller against... I don't like Touk Miller against Fremantle, no. I like Brayshaw against Gold Coast, though. So they're sort of your captain options. I think I'll probably go McRae into Cripps, and I'll cry about it when I have a 0 here, because Hewitt will be a laid out. But that's all right. Probably what you do is you probably end up looking like this. If this is how the loop will look on your field. Right, if you use your defender, and Hewitt is a laid out. And if he's a laid in, then you have to you probably just play, you have to pick someone else. Does that make sense? So if Gibcus, say you like this vice captain score, Gibcus becomes your captain. He gets locked on the Friday as a 0. Then your emergency plays for him, which would be Coleman. You'll get the lowest score emergency, lowest playing emergency. So if Hewitt is a laid out, that doesn't come in. Coleman comes in. So there's your 50 or whatever points that you wanted. If Hewitt plays, then you'll have to choose someone else. And I've got no one, so that doesn't work for me, but it could work for you. So that's how you'll do that loop. The other option is you could say, there's Saturday. It's a tricky loop. Honestly, just have faith in your captain, Paddy Cripps. All right, I spoke about that way too long, really long video. Apologies. Thanks for watching. Chat to you guys on Monday.